Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
All right, people, this Sunday morning here, and we got stuff going on here. I'm trying to find some help around my house, help me clean up my yard, and I can't find my usual help because they're gone. Hey, let's get it away to the usual spot. After they arrested them 500 people down there, they playing shit, man. You can't see them there at Walmart. And at the store nowhere. Oh. So I had to call my daughter up. She worked at the post office, she's a mail carrier. So I told her, "Can you find me? I need 2 of them. Can you find me 2 of them on your route?"
Oh my goodness!
So she gonna look for 2 of them on my while she round around. She'll be to see them somewhere.
Hey, y'all look for work over there?
Yeah, man, they be hiding up in them subdivisions or in them housing complexes. They got lookouts now, just for them. They got spies and shit up in the trees. They give warning and shit, y'all. It is. Oh man. Oh, this is too much. These people are too much. These folks want to work. They trying to live. They can't even take their kids to school. They went to one school in New York and arrested one of the parents, and they were taking the kids to school. I said, these people are something else. I don't believe it, Ted. You can't even take your kid to school. One lady, she was going to court. Shit, because her husband had beat her up. Death and domestic violence. They caught her before she got into court and locked her up. Oh man. It's too much, people. I don't know what this country coming to now. They done got rid of my help, man. I can't even give me no help, man, around here because I can't get anybody else to do the damn work. And if they do, shoot, Mr. Bishop, that'll be about $400 to mow the grass. Shit, man, you take about 15 minutes.
Hey,
Yeah, well.
this is the way they look at it. Ed. They say, look at all the illegals going to school, and we have to pay for that. Look at all the illegals going to the emergency room. We have to pay for that. Look at all the illegals that's doing this and doing that. So this is their justification. But I believe, to me, it's just about just getting the brown people out. That's what it is.
Yeah. Them people pay taxes. They pay property tax. They pay sales tax. And most of the daggone sales tax they pay go to the damn school district. All their property taxes go to most of it. 80% of the money you get your tax bill. How much of your taxes go to the school system? I get mine, and 65% of that money that they take out of my taxes go to the school district. They paying for the daggone thing, so they got a right to send their kids to the school.
Well, ain't nobody say they didn't have a right, but I'm just saying that the bottom line is that this is the way these, I'm gonna say, white theology people thinking. This is what they're thinking. You know, they're saying that, you know, we're spending more money taking care of them than what we're receiving, and so it is not worth it. I mean, I'm just going by what they say, what I hear.
Well,
But guess
they got the
who's
wrong
off of Trump's
they
train?
got the wrong perception because from the way I'm seeing it, that we ain't all our vegetables are going up. we can't get shit, the vegetables are going up.
I
All
know.
our vegetables going up. We can't you can't get anybody to work at the house. All the housing has projects that stop because if you want to get your roof done, ain't nobody on your roof, man, but them folks there. That's it. Anybody climb up on one of them hot roofs and stuff, man, and roof your house in less than 12 hours. Take off the shingle, put it back on and everything, and for the end of the day, they done. They ain't doing that. These people out here who own these construction companies, they doing jobs and stuff, man. So and they're not paying up people hardly at all. They charge you $20,000 to put a roof on your house, and the people who are doing the work probably get $18,000 going back in their pocket, minus the materials. Can't beat it with a stick. And they're the ones that are driving this whole thing. All our construction. You go out there and look on any construction tell you down there in
Well, you ain't
Tampa.
got to tell me, bro. I see it all the time over
They
here.
all over the place. They brick
I
land. They
mean,
doing everything.
all these new homes that's been built over in Brandon and Riverview and everywhere else around here in Hillsborough County, man. That's all you see is Latino
That's all you
people
see.
working.
That's all you see. Hispanics over there working. They doing everything. Everything except the specialized work. They don't go in there and do the plumbing. They don't do the electrical work. But most of the other stuff they doing. They
Yeah,
don't
they
do
lay out
designing.
the woods and put up the plaster and put the roof up
Put the roof
and all
up.
that.
Do
And they
all
might
that.
even do the painting and all that too.
They do a little painting if they got time. They got any masonry work and stuff, and the tiling that got to be done. They're doing that. But anything they got to do with the electricity or the plumbing and everything, which is the most expensive part of it, they got the
And you
white folks
know,
doing that.
we got a lot of our black males got they didn't. It's not that they didn't want to do the work; they just didn't train them and didn't make those opportunities available for them because they would have had to be join the union. And a lot of those carpenters, those older carpenters and plumbers and all that, they're all in unions.
Absolutely.
And
And
when you're in
and and
union
one thing I found out, Ted, down here in the South, you got to pass the drug test. They
well,
know
that's
to
a
pass the
problem.
drug test.
That's a problem.
They got a they got these car plants. They got a Mercedes Benz plant down here. They got a Hyundai plant here. They got a Kia plant down here in the South. They got a Toyota plant down here in the South. All of them are foreign cars. Porsche plant down here, and they trying to hire people and stuff there. And most of them, if you walk in there, you're black, you can't pass the drug test.
Let me ask you a question. This is way off the subject.
Go ahead.
When's the last time? It's been a while since we had some negative black news. Do we have any negative black news lately?
Yeah, man, a whole lot of it, but I don't
Up
want
in front, I'm talking
I didn't
about
want to talk.
national. For weeks we had the P Diddy shit, and before that we had some other black person or whatever. So what I'm saying is, it's almost like it's quiet. They have relaxed on the black people. Now
Not
they're
really, because they had that mayor over there in Newark, New Jersey and stuff that they arrested. they still got that Congress lady and stuff and everything that they arrested. Matter of fact, she still got a felony on her. They the three ladies and stuff and everything who are on the Fed board and stuff and everything, they got her and stuff and everything because they said she did mortgage fraud. Uh, a girl from Tisha James over there in New York, they still messing with her because of mortgage fraud. They had those. They still messing with those two the congressmen down there in Tennessee. One of them didn't even did not even get reelected because he had a case on him.
What kind of case?
They had a felony on him and stuff up there in Tennessee
For what?
for voter fraud or something. I don't know what it was, but he didn't get. He couldn't even run for reelection because they got the case on him. I forget the one who did it, but the other one, he won his district back again, but the other one
Well,
didn't.
you know, you ever heard of this guy named Eric
They
Smith?
got this stuff going on with Shadir Sanders. That boy should have been in the first round, and they throw him back to the fifth round. Man, they messing with us, folks. They messing with
Well,
it.
you ever heard of Eric Smith?
Yeah.
He's a senator. He's supposed to be a senator, in my understanding, in Missouri. And he went to go speak to this Congress people, these conservative people. And what came out of his mouth is absolutely ridiculous. And what he was basically saying that this country was for white people only. That's basically what he was saying. Now, his family didn't come here until the late 1800s. So he's a seventh generation. So that's what he claimed he is. But the bottom line is that he didn't go through his family didn't go through the Civil War, all the slavery issues and all that stuff. And yet he thinks he's an American. He's a German. He's a German. And they don't even classify him as white. When I mean is white, I'm talking about WASP, Watts. The reason why Hitler did what he did and he wanted this relationship with all these Sweden people is because they were blonde and blue-eyed, because they were white. They were nothing but Mongols, the German people. The thing is that here's the thing is what's going on right now is that you got these white Latinos, you have these wannabe white Latinos, and you got all of these different nationalities or ethnic groups think they're white, like Italians and Irish people. They was never classified as white, but they are in their own. Just like 47, his family is not classified as white. It's to them, to the Watts people, he's like white trash. That's why he was never accepted in the crowd in New York.
Well,
his family was never accepted.
We in our era and stuff, Ted. We had a lot of our folks and stuff who tried to pass. Black folks and stuff. They had black blood.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing there. But I'm just talking about.
You talking about
what
the
I'm saying
Hispanics. You talking about the Hispanics and stuff who were trying to tell people
they did. A lot of them
white.
passed and they changed their name.
Well, they trying to pass. So that's the same thing.
But what
anyway,
I'm saying is, hear me out here. You have to look at the different levels of white. What we classify as white. There's no such thing as white people. No such thing as white people. They're ethnic people. Italians, Jews, Polish. They're ethnic people. But the European people who are, from Britain and everything, they are Protestants. Even Eric Smith himself is a Catholic. That's a no-no in the Presbyterian line of church. Presbyterians, the Presbyterians and the Catholics, they fought. What I'm trying to tell you is this: a lot of this stuff, these wannabe white people call themselves white people, trying to be white. They got their own little group of trying to come against black people. Their whole ideology is to keep the black man down, to make them the low on the totem pole. They have purposely did this. Do you realize? I'm talking to y'all people out there, the few people that come listen to us. Do you realize that they have spent in the last 40 years over almost $5 trillion they have given away to foreigners of our money, taxpayer money, $5 trillion. And that ain't even counting the waste money that they did in the Pentagon. That's about $26 trillion unaccounted for. The reason why black people are where we are, not all of it, not all the reason, but the majority of the reason is because they did not utilize that money that we paid taxes in to have a better education, neighborhoods and education and small businesses in our neighborhoods. This is the reason why. And they did it on purpose. It is no coincidence that our school system, every city in America that has a black neighborhood that has schools, they are underfunded. And you try to use property taxes as a damn excuse. That's a damn lie. You sit there and spend all our tax money. Black people work just like white folks, make just as much money almost, for the most part. And you sit up here and act like, and it's taxation without representation. And they have been spending our money willy-nilly like they want to and not invest in our communities. And then they pacify, why you think they have Italian towns? Why you think they have China towns? Why you think they have Vietnamese towns? Why you think they have this town and that town? They don't have them for no reason. They have them for a reason. It's their form of segregation. And then what do they call our town, our city, the hood, our neighborhood, the hood, the ghetto? That's because they don't put no money in our community.
Now, you know how I feel about that, Ted. I think that, and I put some of that blame on us. I do. I put some of that blame on us. Some of it, we have to accept some of that blame. We do. We have to look in the mirror and say, hey, we allowed these people to do this shit. And we need to stand up and fight and stuff and everything for what we need to do, because you people ain't going to give you nothing unless you fight for it. Until you fight for it, you're not going to get it. And we got to stand up and fight.
What do you think these people been doing?
They have not been fighting strong enough. Well, they've been fighting, and we have changed. There's a lot of us folks out there and stuff, Ted, who have moved up into that little category. They are millionaires and billionaires and stuff out there, and who could bring up a heck of a lot more. But I still think those ones who were sitting down there in the back and have been left behind and everything got to stand up and do something. Got to stand up.
This right here
If
is
you're
a
gonna
poor
be,
excuse.
if we have there are black cities and stuff, black communities and stuff here that are sitting there, and they have everybody on their city council, even the mayor is black. and they still aren't getting the services and stuff that they need.
Because they're not giving them the
city,
money.
the city of Jackson is all black. Everybody on it. The mayor black. Everybody black.
They're not giving them the money. The governor is
You know,
white.
you don't, Ted. You can't.
They had a water system that was poor as shit, and they
I,
sit up here and the governor didn't even bother to try to fix it.
the
They
governor.
did the same thing in the
That's not the governor's responsibility. It's the city's responsibility to get the water fixed.
the funds come from the city. They have to pay taxes, and those taxes go
Right.
to the government.
And they allowed them to tell them what the hell to do because they knew that damn water system was screwed up, Ted, years before the bad things and stuff happened. They knew it was messed up years before it happened. I blame them and stuff for it. They could have went out there. They are a municipal entity. They have a right to go out and file for a community development block grant. And that money comes directly to the city.
The mayor has been doing that, bro.
He hadn't been doing that. Those mayors had not been doing that. And then the money, and whatever monies they had coming there, because they still have to charge the people in the city for their water bills. That money comes to the city for the water bill. What happened to that money that the people in that city spend and who pay for their water bill? That money should have been to rebuild that daggone water system. That money that comes in and stuff, these white communities take it and stuff, and they ask these people for a bond so they can use that money to pay that daggone bond back from the daggone water bill they get. They didn't do that. They had the opportunity to do that. You can't blame that white man for that. I don't. You don't allow nobody.
Well, maybe
you in charge of a city. You don't allow people to tell you, "Well, he didn't give me that money. I can't do nothing because he didn't give it."
Well, maybe you might be right. You know more about Mississippi than I do. But what I'm saying is that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm blaming these people that's not really investing in the black community. They're not treating the black community the same. Classic example is that you look at Altadena, black, 60-70% black. Now you trying to tell me that all those homes burned down and nobody helped them and wasn't nobody setting those fires? That's a whole black community. See, I believe in conspiracies, and I'm telling you, these people are out to destroy black people as a whole. If you are making it,
and that is true, but you don't. There's always people out there who don't want to succeed. There's people out there who fighting to keep you from getting stuff, and you just going to have to get out there and fight from letting you do it. That's my thing. You don't let nobody come in there and tell you what the hell to do. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna sit down here and let nobody tell me that I can't make enough money to keep my house going. That's the same thing as that. I'm gonna keep my stuff fixed up. I'm gonna trim my daggone grass and or whatever. If I got a project going on, I'm gonna go out there and get the money to get it fixed. That's the same thing with those cities and the municipalities that our people are staying in. You don't let nobody come in there and do that. You go and get that. You don't tell nobody.
I agree.
We got how much money, Ted, comes through our community every year?
Billions.
You talking trillions, not billions, trillions.
Well, we do.
We got so much money coming through our community. So if we got that kind of money coming to our community, somebody need to figure out how to use that daggone money for their own benefit for the people who are sitting there. That's all I'm saying. The mother folks do it. The Chinese and stuff do it. The Vietnamese do it. All those communities that we know that's around here, especially up in Chicago, they got their own little conglomerate and stuff, and they get their money and fix their place up, keep it together, all of them. We can't do that. I don't know why.
Well, they,
And
I don't, you
and I
know, that's
know
a
that
good question.
and I know that we have all kinds of stuff going on. When I watched Flint had the same problem with the lead and stuff in their water. That's a huge city with most of them minority people in that daggone city. Somebody in that city knew that those pipes and stuff inside that place and stuff and everything had lead in there, and they was messing with their kids. Lead pipes. They knew about it long before the state came in there and tried to take over that daggone city. They knew it. After that stuff happened, Ted, you know what happened here in our community? I'm sitting up in here after that Flint thing happened. Man, these folks down here in my community and stuff and everything dug up every last one of their daggone water lines. And they hadn't been down there that long. They dug them up and put brand new lines down there. Where they get that money from? They call it SPLOT. They had the people to vote for it. They took that money. They brought in millions of dollars, and they took that money and they took all of the daggone water lines out. And when they finished up digging all the water lines up and everything, guess what they did? They didn't leave the street all messed up with holes all that and everything and then repave it. They repaved their whole street and put in sidewalks that wasn't even there. Why can't we do that?
That's a good question.
Why can't we do that? When you got a project going on, they put in at the end of it a beautification project. You're gonna have to put that stuff back the way it was and fix it up and clean it up. I watched them sit here in this city and stuff when they took the Atlanta Braves and stuff and brought them up into Cobb County and made them. The Atlanta Braves ain't no longer in Atlanta; they're in Cobb County, but they still call them Atlanta Braves. But they're in Cobb County. When they put that stadium and stuff in there and everything, they brought all that money down there, and these people built a highway to it. I ain't crap. I'm not kidding you. From the white neighborhood where the white people is at, all the way down to where the stadium is at.
So they wouldn't go through the city.
Toll road. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to have their white folks coming down there through where the minorities is at, where the low income people is at. They said they had them up there. They can get on it if you pay because it's a toll road. But when they put the toll road in there, guess what the state and the city and the county told them to do? When you do that, you're gonna have to beautify the place back up. And they made them repay the interstate all the way along that thing. They repaid the whole daggone thing. They made them do it. They had to do it. Took their money and made them do it. Because I thought they were going to just leave the folks who was in the city and stuff all messed up. You driving through that part of the city and everything, interstate sitting in there and everything. The highway got little holes, dips it in everything. They went and repaved that whole thing after they put that highway up with
Well, you know,
their money.
this right here is really very complicated, nuanced, very detailed. A lot of things that's involved as far as these black communities. The reason why they're not getting the type of services and funding that they should, because really it's up to, I don't know if they have aldermen. They don't have aldermen in Atlanta, do
What?
they? Aldermen.
Alderman?
Yeah.
In the city they do, but not on the outskirts.
Okay. So these people, it's their job, as well as your Congress people, your state representatives, and all of them, to what they should be focusing on, community involvement, and getting these people to come together so that they can beautify their community. That's the reason why, you know, you go to certain black neighborhoods, their homes only worth 200,000, and you go to right across the highway or the main thoroughfare, and their houses worth 800,000, because their houses are basically built almost the same, but the difference is their houses is well kept. their houses, their neighborhoods, and their streets are nice. I'm just telling you from experience, just living in Tampa. You have a major thoroughfare called Kennedy, and it's from 60, and then they call it Kennedy. And if you go on the north side of town, those homes are 200,000, 300,000 less. You go on the left side of Kennedy, the south side of Kennedy, and those homes are 7, 8, $1 million. And the houses are basically built the same. Same houses. They're just well kept. Well kept. Because I done drove all through them.
Anything, Ted, that's worth something, you have to fight for it. Anything that's worth it, you got to fight for it. That's my thing. That's inside of me. If you want something, you have to fight for it. And I think that we as a people, some of us are fighting, but a lot of us are not. We need to fight for what we want. I'm looking at this daggone boy over there, Deion Sanders' son. They dogged him out. That boy did not sit back, Ted, and you know it. He did not sit back and allow them people to do that crap to him. He made sure that his agent put a clause in his daggone contract that them people didn't even have any idea what that boy was trying to do. And that clause that he put in his daggone contract and everything is eating them alive. And they can't stand it. That son of a gun gonna be worth $100 million because he ain't allowed them people to sit there and dog him out like they do other players. Now anybody else, they probably would have sat back, oh well, I'm gonna take my little $4 million and stuff, and I'm gonna go out there and try to win and stuff. But he ain't said that shit. We ain't letting these people do this to me. We have to fight for what we need to do, and that's an example of right now today of a fight that this young man had with the National Football League. And he winning that fight. People can see it. Whether he don't play one down this year, he making enough daggone money and stuff that most players and stuff who playing every daggone down is making. Because he had to fight for what he did. That's what we got to do.
He gonna make more than 1 year than some people gonna make in their whole career.
Yes, sir. Because
some of them only making $5 million, I say only $5,
Right.
$6, $7, $10 million a
Right.
year, and they got a contract for $40 million for 4 years or 5 years for $60 million, whatever.
Absolutely.
He gonna make more in 1 year.
He gonna make more because he fought for that stuff. This is my thing. This is my body. I'm gonna fight for it. I'm looking at all them other players and stuff down there. I can look at Lamar Jackson. It took him a while to realize what his value was, but once he realized what the heck his value was, Baltimore paying him.
Well,
Philadelphia, same thing. That boy Jalen Hurts, when he figured out, well, I'm down here and everything. I'm gonna take this little money and stuff, but when I get my butt back on top, they gonna pay for me, and they paying $250 million.
Well, let's take it back where we were. The thing is, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is not no excuse, or I'm not saying these people are victims and all that. What I'm just saying is that, and I don't call this a morality thing because you can be immoral but still have some type of dignity and class about yourself as far as your possessions, And the thing is, to me, is that people in their community, they should block off certain portions of their community and make it a gated community.
Make it a what community?
Gated.
Why is
you
that?
might have a neighborhood. You might have a neighborhood with 100 houses.
Mm-hmm.
Gate that shit up. Gate it up. That means people that come there got to get permission to come in. You have an organization to come in, and then you say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're gonna find some money where we can renovate these homes. Those people that's renting, those people that's on Section 8, that's a different story. They have to deal with that. I don't know how they would deal with that. But the point is that just start gating up their communities and then building those homes and bringing up the value of those homes.
Mm-hmm.
Have a gated community. That's what these white folks doing, man. There's so many gated communities in this country. It's just ridiculous. Just here in where I'm at, in Brandon, is all kind of gated communities. And in those gated communities, you have to pay a certain amount of money, you know, to make sure that these things are kept up. That means your lawn is being done. That means all of this has to be done. The roads have to be kept up. All of that to bring the value of your home up. And that's what I think what needs to be done in black communities. They have to have gated communities in their certain neighborhoods. And in the neighborhoods that they have, the homes that they have, a lot of these homes are beginner homes. When they first came in there, somebody had already had them and they went on and got a bigger house. So they only got 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms homes. But I think the best thing, as far as I'm concerned, gate them suckers up. Find out some kind of way to gate your community up and call it the so-and-so community or whatever they call it. There's so many doggone names around here. It's just ridiculous. That's gated. You can't even go in there and look at the houses unless you got a realtor. Unless you sneak in there when somebody's opening the gate.
I'm a radical, Ted. I've been a radical for a long time. A long time. I'm a radical, and I got ideas in my head as radical as all get out. And most people look at me and say that Negro crazy. Something wrong with him. I'm radical. When I look at our community in the ghettos and stuff and see all those buildings and homes and everything that's falling apart and falling down, and we sitting back and stuff and walking away from that crap, I can't. It just irks me. It tears me up to see us doing that. Run down, they done fell down, falling down, and all gutted out. Drug dealers all in there. Damn it, get them son of guns out of there. Clean that daggone community up. Now, my parents used to tell me you got to clean up the corner where you live. Brighten up your corner where you live. Brighten it up. And everybody else around, they got the same idea to brighten it up and everything, then you're going to be successful. Now, we're going to, Ted, and we all know this, we ain't going to never get 100% of anybody to back anything up. We not. If we get 60% of our people to follow through and do something and everything, we are successful. That's my idea. Go to them go into them communities and clean that place up.
Here's another thing too. When we talking this, I'm talking, this is, every city. I mean, you name it, Tampa. You talking Chicago, certain parts of Chicago,
LA, San Francisco, New York, all
of those places. And then the thing is that here's the thing: what they do is they deliberately, in homes and apartments is 2 different things. Now, and I can only tell you my experience. My experience, like here, there's about 25 apartment buildings in one location. Boom. There are no homes here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go down, you go to Tampa, and they got apartment buildings everywhere, and right next to the homes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that brings the value down, bro.
But they were zoned that way, weren't they?
Well, it might have been zoned that way, but what I'm saying is that you don't see that in the white community.
In some communities, you see it that way. They zone it that way. That's how they zone it. You can't put no commercial property and stuff, or you can't put no multi-family units and stuff in a single family unit area. It's around here. Ain't nobody around it. You can't put no multi-family units and stuff in our in our whole area. No multi-family units. None.
Now, and then the second thing, what I think what needs to be done, that every community that has anywhere between 3 and 5 neighborhoods, they should have a huge community center. You can't depend on the schools. The schools try to do everything, like after school programs, lunch programs. You should have a community center where you get some of these older people or whatever to help out and what have you, and help these people, and where you have a gymnasium, you have little different training stuff and all that kind of thing, and that should be on the agenda, and that should be a goal for every community. That keeps people out of trouble. If you're not working, then you got some place to go where you don't have to be running the street and looking for something to do, because you got games to play. Most people just want to be around other people. Like if you like ping pong, you like basketball, or you like volleyball, or all that kind of stuff, or even just a study room where you have people that tutor you. You would think that, because we are community-based people and we like to hang out with each other, you would think that we would think on those types of terms as far as helping our children, having a community. I know a lot of athletes. I don't know them personally, but I'm saying, say for example, the champ George Foreman. George Foreman spent thousands and thousands of dollars for his center to help the youth. And when he went broke, I saw the documentary. He was sitting out there watching and crying because he was losing it. And then he got that burger thing going, and he started making a lot of money. Then he built it back up. But what I'm saying is that you got these multimillionaires and billionaires and everything else, and they're doing their little share here and there. But you need to get together. They spent all that money, and rightfully so, for the history of that black museum. But you take just a few $1,000,000, $4 or $5 million, you can build a nice community center. You can build about 6 or 7 of them in different communities. This is what we need to keep these kids out of trouble. And those that don't have computers and all that kind of stuff, you can have that laid out for them to learn all kinds of stuff. But I don't get it, man. We done lost our sense of community, I think. I know there's a lot of communities that's doing these types of things, and they're trying to do it and try to keep people out of trouble and try to do all those things. But the point is, you got to have money. It takes money to do all those things, to have nice communities, to have a nice center, to have activities, and have, and those types of things. So when I look at that, and then you look at these so-called wannabe white theologians or theologists that think that they are the moral compass of the country, but excluding everybody else. That's not. I don't call that Christian. I don't call that Christian. So they sitting up here thinking that they are the ones, or the chosen ones. You ought to hear me. I'm telling you, it's almost like, and then they're jealous because black folks is taking over, the sports industry, because it's all based on merit, talent, desire. Takes a lot of work to be a good athlete, especially a great athlete. Oh, he's naturally gifted. Ain't no such thing as naturally gifted. Get the hell out of here. He naturally gifted. You don't know how much work these people that put in to try to be great. And that's in anything, whether it's in entertainment, science, whatever. Because right now,
Well,
we know and you know that we are losing in science, we're losing in technology.
because those people are not our heroes. Our heroes are Beyonce and basketball players, football players. Those are heroes. We need to find us a hero who's a scientist. We need to find a hero who is doctors.
We got a bunch of scientists out there. We got a bunch of doctors out there. We have a
Yeah,
bunch
we
of.
need to make them. We need to make them a hero. We need to turn them into heroes, so our folks can look up to them.
If you look at the history of black people as far as medicine, we were the leaders in medicine.
That's the way. But they're no longer our heroes. We don't hear about them.
They were the leaders in medicine.
But you don't hear about them.
I mean, I can run off 5 or 6 different people that has done that. Who you think did? Who created the vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
Who created? Excuse me. Who created the blood system? As far as that, who did the first heart surgery? Come on, bro.
I know who they
On and
are,
on.
but they're not
Come
our
on.
heroes anymore. They're not our heroes. That's what I'm saying. They're not our heroes anymore. So
And this is no knock on the people that are doctors and doctors now, but I didn't see not one black doctor when I went to the hospital. All of them were white or Indian or Asian.
do we don't, and I don't think you're really getting what I mean by our heroes. I I'm sitting here and I when I'm growing up, Ted, and you and I both were in the same boat and stuff and everything. We didn't have history, a lot of black history and stuff where we
A
were
lot we
coming
had
up.
none.
Yeah, but we had to force these people because I didn't had no idea that our people, our slaves, built the White House. They called it the White House. It should be
Yeah,
called the
I
Black
didn't
House.
either.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
should be
either.
called the Black House. We didn't know that one of our heroes, Ben Banneker and stuff, did what the stoplights and everything. He created that stuff. He had the stoplights
Yeah,
and
we didn't
all
know
that.
that.
He did all that. We didn't know this when we were coming up until
We
we
didn't know that
forced
a black
people
man.
to give us our history.
We didn't know that a black man engineered the whole D.C.
Yes, sir. Did we realize that there were black women who were involved in our space program?
No, hell
I
no.
didn't know about that. Black women. Black women were involved in our space program. They helped put that man on the moon. They helped put him into space, and we didn't know that. Had no idea. None whatsoever.
What
So
what
we no, they have to become our heroes. Those ladies and stuff, Miss Johnson and stuff, who this center is named after and stuff and everything. She should be our hero. Girlfriend who went up into space and the daggone ship blew up and everything. She should be our hero. They should be our heroes. That's what we need to have as our heroes. Not the athletes can be your heroes too, but we got heroes in science. We got heroes everywhere. We just need to make sure that our folks know that there are people there like that, because you want to inspire our children to do better, have something to reach for. We got Barack Obama. Everybody can look at him. He became the president of the United States, a black man, our hero. We need to put this so we can give our children and stuff something that they can say, hey, this is we can do this. You can do this. Because when you're sitting there telling the kid you can be the president of the United States before Barack Obama became the president of the United States, most of them kids and say, you got to be lying to me, because we ain't never had no black president until Barack Obama came along. He should be our hero. So our kids can look up. Say, here, you can attain this. You can be a black man was chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff.
Well, let's go
Black
back.
man.
Let's go back to this here though. I heard this guy say this. He said, it's going to be great because I love the way things are going now. Because right now, if you're living in a neighborhood and the school is not that good, what we're going to do is give you $7,500 and you can go to a private school. Okay, I'm a single mother, 2 kids. I got $15,000. They say, you want your 2 kids to go there? Okay, you're going to have to pay another $20,000 to get into the school every year. Because it ain't going to just cost $7,500. It's going to cost you probably $17,000 or $20,000 every year. Right now we have public schools, and purposely they make sure that they don't have the adequate necessities and the correct training because of the funding. When you have schools, and I'm talking about the north side and the south side, I'm just talking about Tampa now. You go on one side and the schools, there's no air conditioner, the ceiling is falling down, and all of that. You go on the other side, you go to schools, and you look in the school and you say, wow, this is nice. You go into school, the air conditioner's working, everybody's, the desks is all nice, the books are all laid out, everything. There's a difference, bro.
Big difference.
But it's not what you say. What it is that when people do not get involved, you cannot sit there and just send your kids to school like they're a babysitter. You have to be involved. The parents have to be involved. You are raising a little genius. That's what you're doing. That's what you have to look at your child. Hey, this right here is my genius. This is my genius. He might be good in sports, maybe, but he might even be good in science. He might be good in math. He might be good in all of those types of things. But the parents have to be involved. You can't just drop your kids off and pick them up and that's it. You got to be involved. And then you got to figure out, and then find out, what y'all lacking? What's going on? What you need?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't have to do none of that because all my kids went to good schools because of the neighborhood I was in. I was very fortunate. But what I'm saying is that you're right. A lot of it is the community's fault but when you work in 3 to 11, that's a big deal.
That's no excuse. Can't have no excuses. You got to figure out a way, find a way. If you're working 3 to 11, find a way. You're working 12 to 8 o'clock in the morning, find a way.
I
Find
agree.
a way.
I
Find a
agree.
way.
But
Because
the point is, what I'm saying is,
just
it's
like
too
you just
many.
said, Ted, those are valuable entities. Those are diamonds. Those children are like gold. You have
Yeah,
to find a way. Just like you find a way to buy a diamond necklace and stuff, you find a way and stuff and everything to deal with that diamond that you got sitting there under your tutelage every day.
every day.
Every day.
They
Find a
precious,
way.
man. These kids are precious, man. And and if you don't treat them that way, then they gonna go the other way.
And
They
we
gonna feel like they worthless.
and we have a real bad habit of believing that, well, if you send your child to school and everything, that the teacher's always right. Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes there's something going on there with that teacher that's not right. And you need to listen to your child sometime and say, if something happened in school and stuff, and the teacher said, well, someone, he did this bad or she did that bad or whatever, you need to find out why. Stand there with your child and find out why. And go there to the school and find out what's going on. And look at that teacher because they got to do what, Ted? What do they get paid for? They get paid to educate my child.
That's right.
They are paid to educate my child. So if he's not bad, but you keep telling me, well, he dumb, he dumb. If you keep telling the kid they dumb, that they gonna act like they dumb.
Yeah.
You don't tell no child they dumb or stupid. That's the worst thing in the world to tell a child. Well, you can't do this, you can't do this. Man, whew. Ted, there's a whole lot of stuff, man, that we have to learn about what's going on out there with our children. And you have to figure out a way how to educate them. You have to figure out a way how to do what needs to be done to make sure that they become excellent, that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because everybody don't learn the same way. They
That's
don't.
true.
You
That's
got to be
exactly right.
innovative. You got 30 kids in your class. My class is overcrowded. Got 30 kids in there. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Then figure out a way how to educate them 30 kids. Don't sit down there and complain to me. Figure out a way how to do it. If you gotta take your class, be innovative. Take your class and stuff. Find out who the smartest kid in that daggone class and stuff. Divide him up or her up, and let them teach a part of the class while you teaching the other part of the class.
Well, and here's the thing that I think that, and I'm sure that people have thought of this. I mean, this ain't nothing new. This ain't a brainstorm, but you can have parents in the classroom. Those that's not working and just housewives or whatever, or maybe they might work at home and they got 2 3 hours to come there and help these kids and be right there.
Or Ted, I got another bold idea. When the kids get out of school and everything, that same parent that you're talking about, well, I can't go to the school to do anything because I got a small child and stuff here and everything. Why not allow some of the kids to come to her house after they get out of school and have a tutoring session going on, and you sitting there watching them while they're being tutored?
There you go.
Think outside the box, people. Anyway, Ted, we at the end, man. This is we at the end, man. We can't. Hey. I told you I'm
Yeah.
radical, man. I got some radical thoughts in my head and stuff and everything, and it just, whew. And sometimes things aren't as easy as we think they are, people. They're not. Sometimes you got to work at it. Sometimes you got to do some things that is unorthodox. And each one of my children, this stuff till I raised up, they were both different. And you treat them, you got to deal with them differently to get them to learn.
Yeah.
You do that's because all of them don't learn. They came in there, they don't learn the same way.
No,
Some of them
they
got
don't.
A's and stuff and some things, and some of them got B's in there. So we got to figure out how to make sure that they're gonna bring their grades up. and make them good about it. And if they bring in something home and stuff, and they bring a B there, I'm gonna ask them, did you do your best? And they say, I did my best. I tried. And you know they did, then you're gonna have to be fine with that.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's my thing. What your final word here, brother?
Well, I just want people to realize that there are, I don't want to call these people enemies. I don't know what to call them. But the one thing for sure, they're not including us in their plans. And if we don't get ourselves as a community, and I ain't talking about all of us black people, come together. I'm talking about just community by community. If we don't get ourselves together and realize that our future is our children. Our future is our children. Once you become an adult and you done lived your life, let's say you're 25, 30 years old, and you start having kids, your job is to take care of those kids, and that's it. To make sure they got food on their table, clothes on their back, and a place to live. And make sure that they are doing things that they enjoy. That's my last say. That's exactly, if you sitting around here talking about, oh, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. Hey, that's your business. You're trying to do that, but your first priority should be your kids. Now you the one brought them in this world. You brought them in the world.
They didn't
It's your
actually
job.
They didn't ask to be here.
Thank you.
Anyway, people, we have a good old sermon here today on a Sunday. Guess what? This is the first Sunday of the month. This first Sunday.
First Sunday.
Yes, the first Sunday of the month, man. We had a prayer meeting on the first Sunday.
Praise the Lord. That's all I gotta say. Thank the Lord and
Bye
thank
bye,
the Lord.
people.